Hey everyone, so I wanted to do a quick review on Spider-Man Far From Home, and I'm going to try to have as minimal spoilers as possible. That way, if you have not seen the movie yet, hopefully nothing will be ruined for you, and if you have seen the movie, you'll probably actually know what I'm talking about without ruining it for everybody else. So first thing I wanted to talk about is actually just my personal expectations for a Spider-Man film. I've mentioned this on a previous video, but compared to some other superhero movies, I always have really high expectations for Spider-Man movies, and usually it never quite meets that. So I just wanted to say that before I start talking about this, just because I don't want to come off as too negative or anything like that, because I actually really did enjoy the movie. I thought it was a really good movie. It's definitely not Into the Spider-Verse. That's an amazing movie to me. But yeah, there were some definitely genuinely funny moments. It's very much kind of the vibe of Spider-Man Homecoming, if you're familiar with that movie. And it's still in line with that really teen movie feel. Almost kind of that 80s teen movie, and it actually reminded me a lot of the Spectacular Spider-Man episode. It seemed straight from like the TV show The Spectacular Spider-Man, which is great. And Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was amazing, fantastic actor. He's just great in everything, but he never half-asses anything, and that shows it in this movie. And also the costume that they actually have Mysterio in is great. It's ridiculous, and he's one of my favorite characters in the Spider-Man universes, and he just really looks like he's almost straight from the comics. They just kind of went 100% with him, as they should have. So yeah, the costume looks amazing. I love it, and I loved seeing a lot of the scenes that you would expect from the comics. Really trippy scenes they pull off really well, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. I really liked the elementals and the way that they're formed, and I think that's very in line with the comics, and taking some liberties with that, but in the most updated and best way possible. So they were very threatening. There was an actual fear of like, oh, this is really something destructive and dangerous, and you can definitely see the threat in that. Besides Jake Gyllenhaal, Tom Holland, Zendaya, they're just great. You can tell the cast really seems to like each other. They have a really good time. Their chemistry all works really well off of each other. The couple things that I do have to nitpick on are some of the characterization of Peter Parker. It's not the worst, and definitely we've seen a lot worse, but there's some elements that it's not going to be really spoiled if you've seen any of the trailers, but there's a lot of reluctance for him to kind of take the initiative to do something about the issue, and I know that, yeah, you might be feeling like a little overwhelmed, but for me in the comics, there are several times that Peter feels overwhelmed, and he does take the initiative, even though it's, risking himself, and it just because it's the right thing to do. And there eventually, obviously you're going to see that, but it's kind of thrust upon him more than him just doing it. And again, just because it's a character that I really like, it's a little nitpick that I have. Something else I wanted to talk about was the end credit scene, and how actually a lot of that I feel pretty hyped about, and there's some really fun things to look forward to mid-credit and then post-credits. So yeah, I would definitely, if you haven't already seen it, definitely check it out, especially if you're a Spider-Man fan, or you're wanting to continue the MCU after Endgame. It will be kind of nice also, I think personally, just for me to see everything is connected in this universe, and that's great, but also just focus a little bit more on Spider-Man and his life and the characters in that universe. I'd like to see a little bit more of that, and I totally get why they did what they did for this, and I think it was the right move. I just am excited to see in a Spider-Man film just a little bit more focus on that. Alright guys, thank you so much. If you did like the video, feel free to give it a like, and if you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you did. Also, let me know what you think of the movie after you've seen it, and let me know if you agree or disagree, or if you feel I'm being too nitpicky. That's totally cool. understand that I am. But let me know if you enjoyed it. Hopefully I'll be posting a little bit more on here, more consistently too. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.